Right, good morning. So today is a very special day for my daughter and my family in particular. It's my daughter's Kate's 16th birthday, so class is dedicated to Kate, and she's obviously a bit disappointed that she can't get together with more of her friends. But yesterday we did get away to Santa Cruz, and we just socially distanced with a few friends, so that was nice, and it was a beautiful day down there. So happy birthday, Kate. Today I was thinking we would work on hips a little bit more. Emphasis is on hips. Maybe work our way into pigeon and do a few variations in the pigeon pose. Last week I think we did shoulders last week. And I've been starting off the class a lot with a little bit of breathing and a little bit of core work. So we'll do a little bit of core. Maybe forearm plank. I used to always start off classes early on with that. So we'll do some forearm planks, plank work. Good core work. Breathing to begin with. So just sitting up nice and tall. Just resting the hands on the knees, and let's close the eyes to begin with. So it's good just to sit here. You just start off trying to get still and just sort of it's almost like you're trying to observe yourself. And in particular, what's your lower back like? You want to try and get that natural curve of the lower back, trying to get the back neutral, not overemphasizing it, but at least try not to round the back. And then broaden across the collarbone, trying to get width there, but at the same time relaxing the shoulders. Chin slightly tucked, head back. You really want to try and avoid jutting the head forward. A lot of us do that, especially when we're working on, we've got those phones or we're doing those Zoom classes. We tend to jut the head forward, trying to get closer to the screen. That's really bad for the neck, so just try not to do that. And now start to take deeper breaths, long deep breaths, inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the nose, try and make that exhale just as long as the inhale. Inhale. Exhale. You can feel the air flow as you inhale and exhale. You feel it flowing through the throat. So you're making a little bit of noise there, trying to do that, what we call ujjayi breathing. It's the kind of breathing you want to do when we're in the flow, ujjayi breathing. It's almost like you're trying to make an R sound as you inhale, but with the mouth closed, and the sa sound on the exhale. I know we've said focus us on hips, but we want to work on the shoulders a little bit as well, so let's just loosen the shoulders up. Just bringing one shoulder forward, up, back and down. We hold a lot of tension there. Nice slow rotations. And then work on the other shoulder. And then both together, up and down, whatever feels good. And we get a lot of tension in the neck. So let's just do some circles with rotations with the head. So let's just bring the chin to the chest, and then just slowly circle the head. 360, trying to draw a circle in the air with the chin. Just taking your time here. And just note if you've got any tight spots, any creaks, any cracks. I think we all have a few. So if I'm doing this by myself, what I'll do is I'll find an extra tight spot and just hold it there a little bit. Difficult when it's a group. But if you're doing this by yourself, which it's good to do, you can just focus on those areas a little bit tighter. We end up with the chin at the chest, and then we circle back in the other direction. And again we end at the chin at the chest, and we bring the head back up into neutral. Interlace the fingers, extend the arms forward, shoulders back. Trying to get the arms straight, stretching the hands out the arms, and start bringing the arms up towards the ceiling. Taking them as far as feels comfortable. Eventually the arms are going to be either side of the ears. You're breathing. You're getting taller. And then keeping the fingers interlaced, bringing the arms down, turning the palms up towards the ceiling, stretching the hands out, the fingers out. Shoulders are relaxed, elbows in close. So you don't want to hunch up, you don't want to bring the elbows up. We're trying to just stretch the hands out, the fingers, and then shake the hands out. So another thing I've been doing a little bit recently is if you bring the thumb in towards the palm and clasp the thumb, and just bringing the wrist side down onto the knees. So it's this orientation with the arm. So the palm of the hand is facing towards the ground, but you're clasping the thumb, and you're just going to turn the knuckles towards the ground, and then bring the hands up the knuckles up towards the ceiling. And this is supposed to be good if you've got a little bit of tendinitis in the wrist. They say this is a good exercise. And I think it's really good to do, if you're doing a lot of keyboard work, this is a good exercise. So it's basically this kind of action. And sometimes what you could do is you could rest the forearm on a table or something like that, and you could do this as well, and so the hand is off the end of the table. And another one I like is little finger side down towards the ground. Again, I'm resting my wrists on the knees, and then again turning the knuckles towards the ground, so you're stretching out the thumb side of the wrist. And this time we're just going to hold that stretch. Then the back of the hands together, and we're just going to rotate. We're trying to keep the wrists nice and close as we circle in one direction, trying to keep contact with the wrists. Giving the hands a little bit of attention, and maybe we'll work on the feet a little bit soon. And shake the hands out. Little side stretch. Left hand over to one side, a couple of feet away from you. Inhale the other arm up. You're reaching up towards the ceiling. Take that side stretch, looking up. Top arm close to the head. Feeling a stretch down the side ribs and the hip. Breathe. Inhale, we come up. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale, come back up. Place one hand outside one leg. Take a gentle twist. Inhale, center. Exhale over to the other side. Come back to center. Come onto your hands and knees. Cat-cow a few times. Inhale, belly down, head up. Exhale, round in the back, tucking the chin. Inhaling into cow. Exhale, cat. Just moving with the breath, that Ujjayi breathing again. Don't go too fast. Take your time. Then you can go a little deeper into that stretch. Come into neutral. And we're going to be holding this a while, so just keep the hands down to begin with. So we're just bringing one leg up. You're trying to keep both hips even to the ground. So we're going to hold this, and you're going to feel the glutes working, the lower back muscles. You're trying to keep both hips equidistant to the ground. You're not bringing that straight leg up too high. Then what we're going to do, we're going to add an arm, opposite arm. Again, we're trying to keep nice and still, keeping those hips even. If you'd rather have both hands down, that's just fine. And you're breathing, you're not holding the breath. We bring the hand down, leg stays up, and then we're just going to pulse the leg, little movements up and down. And then we're going to switch. Other leg comes up. So shoulders, just pay a little bit of attention to the shoulders, try not to let them sink between the shoulder blades. You're trying to keep the back neutral, hips equidistant to the ground. And then we bring the opposite arm up. You're breathing, reaching with that arm, reaching with the leg. Leg stays up, hand comes down, and little pulses. And then we bring the knee down, we'll go into child's pose for three or four breaths. Come into Sphinx. So Sphinx, elbows are under the shoulders, forearms are parallel. We're opening the chest. And then what I'd like you to do is make fists with the hands. So forearms are parallel, we're making fists, we tuck the toes, and we're going to come into a forearm plank. We're lifting those hips up. You're looking at the ground, you're trying to pull that area between the shoulders up towards the ceiling. You're breathing. If you want a little bit more challenge, toes get a little bit closer to each other, and you're going to bring one leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We switch legs, other leg comes up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We come all the way down and we just relax for a breath or two. Regular plank. Sometimes it bothers people's wrists, so if it does, you could come into a forearm plank again. Again, the back is neutral. You don't want to lower the hips, it puts too much pressure on the lower back. If your hips are too high, it's too easy. So get the back neutral, get the benefit. Side plank, right hand to center, stack the feet. Left arm comes up. Trying to get a straight line all the way from the head through to the feet. So we don't want to drop the hips like this. We're trying to get that straight line. And again, if you want more challenge, top leg comes up. If you want to make it a little bit easier, top foot down or the bottom knee down to the ground. You're breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Plank. Side plank on the other side. Left hand to center, stack the feet, Stack the arms. Maybe bring that top leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into plank. Knees down. Child's pose. And then slowly come up. So planks, they're challenging, especially if you're not used to them. They're challenging poses, but it really helps with the core. Let's just stretch the feet out a bit. So what I'd like you to try is you've got the heels high, you're just tucking the toes. So this is going to stretch the toes out a little bit. And then we bring the hands down. And we're just going to bring the sit bones back. So this is going to stretch the toes out, and probably you might feel it in the back of the heels. Maybe can you come into a squat? Maybe you can. And you're breathing. So for me, a little bit of a stretch in the feet, gentle stretch in the back. Shouldn't hurt at all. And if your heels don't come down, or you could maybe just roll the mat up a little bit, put them under the heels, or if you have a towel handy, roll the towel up, put it under the heels. Back onto the hands and knees. Downward facing dog. You're looking between the feet. And we're just going to walk the dog, bend one knee as you straighten the opposite leg. Hold one leg straight, one knee bent. Switch. Switch again, but this time bring the right leg up, or one leg up to the ceiling. Hip opener, stack the hips. Hands solidly on the ground, top knee is bent, you're breathing. Trying to get one hip stacked over the other hip. Switch legs, other leg comes up. Stack the hips, bending the top knee. Top foot joins the bottom foot. We look forward, we walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, mountain, half salute. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Head relaxed. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale, mountain, Samastiti. Inhale, arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, you're hinging forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, mountain. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we fold forward again. Inhale, breath core brings us up. Exhale, mountain. Bend the knees if you need to keep the back happy. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we come all the way up. This time keep the hands together. Interlace the fingers, point the index finger towards the ceiling. Take a little bit of a side stretch. Stretching out the side ribs and the hip. You're looking up underneath that top arm. You're breathing. Can you go a little bit lower? Does it feel good? Does it hurt? If it hurts, don't go as low. Reach up, tall, over to the other side. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to get length before we take the side stretch. We're trying to get more space between the vertebrae before we take that side stretch. Feels good. Let's do it one more time each side. Inhale, getting length. Exhale over to the side. And take 2 or 3 breaths. Inhale up, reach up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back up. Bring the arms down, interlace the fingers, open that chest. Pull the arms down, bend the knees, start to fold forward. And then start bringing the arms up. Be kind to the shoulders. Head is totally relaxed. Belly probably in contact with the legs. And then arms come down as we slowly roll up. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, mountain. Come to the front of the mat. Bend the knees. Inhale, chair. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we flatten the hands. We're in plank. Chaturanga or knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhaling into cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. We're in warrior one. We're going to hold warrior one, 3 breaths. We come back into plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one, other side. You're getting a bit of a hip opener in this pose. We come back into plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold down dog. You're looking between the legs, even towards the belly button. Hands pushed into the ground, armpits towards the ground. Back neutral. Bending the knees if you have to. If you can keep the back neutral, you can start bringing the heels to the ground. Look forward, walk forward between the hands. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, folding forward, knees stay bent. We're back in chair, and then we come all the way up. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale as we fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we flatten the hands. Plank. Chaturanga on knees, chin, chest to ground. Inhale into cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we sweep that foot through. Warrior one. And then warrior two. Reverse warrior. And then extended side angle pose. Forearm to that front knee. Extend that top arm. Maybe start sliding that lower hand down to a block or to the floor, looking up towards the ceiling. We come back up and we flow to the other side. Reverse warrior, plank, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, you sweep it through. Back into warrior one, other side. Stay in warrior one. I switch, you don't. You're in warrior one. Exhale into warrior two. Maybe walking that front foot slightly forward, keeping the front knee over the front ankle. Reverse warrior. And then extended side angle. And if you want a little bit deeper stretch, you can start sliding that lower hand down. Block if you have one, or the floor, or you can just keep the elbow on the leg if you prefer. We come back up. And then we're just going to widen the legs. And we're going to have the feet parallel. You bring the hands down to the ground, fingers on. I've just got my fingertips on the ground. Again, if you have a block, you can have the hands on the block. My hands are directly under the shoulders, and we're just going to bend one knee as we straighten the opposite leg. The straight leg, the foot of that straight leg, you want to try and keep the outer edge of the foot into the mat. Inhale, come up, exhale to the other side. So we're just going to move from side to side with the breath. Inhale coming up, exhale going down. And then we're just going to hold one side for about 3 breaths. And then we're going to hold the other side. And then we come back to neutral. So let's do a twist here. We haven't done this for a while. So you're going to bring the right hand to center. If you have a block, that would be good, but if you don't, no worries. So we're going to bring the right hand under the shoulders, and we're going to open the chest first. And then we bring that left arm up. And you're looking up towards the ceiling. Some people find this quite a challenge. Other side, left hand down, open the chest, and we bring the top arm up. Now the reason we open the chest first is you don't want to bring that top arm up and just yank it back as far as you can. You want to try and keep that top arm nicely lined up with the back to keep the shoulders happy. We bring the top arm down, and then we're going to start walking the feet together, heel toe, heel toe. And then we slowly roll up. Inhale as the arms come up. Exhale, Samastiti. Tree. So tree, this is going to open the hips. So we're going to be on the left foot. We move a little bit further back. Left foot, and the right foot is going to be inside the leg, below or above the knee. You're pushing into the inside of the leg, and we're getting this hip opener. You then bring the palms together, palms to chest. And then just see how it feels here. Are you working that standing leg? Are you relaxing the shoulders? And then whenever you're ready, arms come up, you breathe. So not only are we getting that hip opener, we're strengthening that standing leg. You're having to focus, to concentrate just to be in this pose. Maybe just looking, keeping your focus somewhere on the ground. If you're looking at something not moving, it helps with the balance. And yes, that standing leg is starting to complain. You can feel those muscles working. Probably the calf muscle, the ankle. And then we bring the palms together, both legs down, shake everything out. Tree is a good pose. Okay, other side. We're on the right foot. Left foot inside the leg, below the knee. Just try not to push into the knee joint, please. The top foot is below or above the knee. If you can get your foot inside the thigh, that would be good, so that we open the hips. Some people like to do half lotus in this pose, which you can, a little bit more challenging. Palms together, shoulders relaxed, head back, standing leg working, muscles engaged, arms up. Focus on something not moving. Some people like to bring the hand fingers together. Some people like to have the arms parallel. That's my preference. You're breathing, you're not holding the breath. The leg is working, You're starting to feel it in the calf muscle, the ankle, probably. You're working that balance. This is a good pose to do for balance as well, to help keep you balanced as you mature. A lot of older people, they start to fall easily. Probably they're lacking muscle strength and their balance isn't so good. I think tree is a really good pose to counteract those problems. Release, shake everything out. Shake the legs out. Get that foot floppy. Other leg. Floppy feet. Lean over to one side. Shake the arm out. Get that hand loose. Other side. Lean forward, knees bent. Both arms. Really loose hands. Done a little bit of hand work today. So the wrist should be happy. Okay. Let's go down. Actually, before we go down, let's do standing pigeon. And if you have a block, that would be good. If not, no worries. So we're just going to put the block in front. And we're going to stand, which leg did we do last time? So we're going to stand on the left leg. And we're going to bring the outer right ankle on top. Now this time the standing leg is the knees bent. And this top foot is flexed, dorsiflexion. And we're just going to rest the hands to begin with on that top leg. So it's like that figure 4 that we do when we're lying down, but this time we're standing. And you're going to get a stretch on the outside of that right hip. The block is there if you want to go a little bit lower. Block is there just to help you keep the balance. We do this quite often. You should be familiar with this one, but it's a really nice hip opener. You're breathing. Stretches out the glutes. If you want to go lower, you lower the block. You can even bring the fingertips to the ground. And this is a prep for if you wanted to go into flying pigeon. We won't do that today. Do that another week. Flying pigeon is, as you know, you're on the hands, you're doing a hand balance, similar to crow. Other side, outer of the left ankle on the right leg is bent, trying to keep the back neutral. And you can start off with the hands on that leg, just a placeholder, and whenever you're ready you can go a little bit lower if it feels good. Stretching out the other hip this time. Nice stretch. You can get into really deep stretch here, but you know, it shouldn't hurt, you should feel it. There's a difference between feeling a deep stretch and pain. You should know that difference by now. Bringing the hands down. And then slowly come back up. Okay, so keep blocks handy, because we'll need those later when we go into regular pigeon. Inhale the arms up. Exhale as you fold forward and down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, we plant the hands. We're in plank. Hold plank. So what we're going to do is we're going to all try chaturanga. Even if you can't do chaturanga, you're going to try it, right? So from plank, I want you to try and get the inside of the elbows facing forward. So the hands are glued to the mat, but it's as if you're trying to rotate that right hand to the right, the left hand to the left. So you're getting the inside of the elbows facing forward. You're on your toes, you're bringing the whole body forward, and then you try and bring the elbows to 90 degrees. This is chaturanga. Probably, so a lot of you just can't hold it, you come all the way down. But if you can hold it, that would be good. Then you come into upward facing dog, looking up. And on your next exhale, downward facing dog. And we hold down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to come into a seated position. It's a little bit bright outside, so I'm probably becoming more of a silhouette, but hopefully you can see me well enough. We bring the soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. If you have tight hips, if your knees are high, your back is rounded, you want to sit on a block or a book or something. You take hold of the outside of the feet. You start rocking from side to side. As I do that, my heels are getting in nice and close. I'm then using a lot of arm strength, pulling my hips forward, and then just letting the knees, letting the legs get closer to the ground. The idea is the back is neutral, and we're trying to open the inside of the hips here. We're using that breath. As you hold this, the hips will start to open, and we slowly release. Try this. Can be a bit of a challenge. If you'd rather just have the legs crossed, that's fine. But what I'm going to get you to try and do is this right leg, the shin is parallel to the edge of the mat that's in front of you. We bring the other leg on top. So we're trying to stack the shins, and we've got a gap between the top leg and the foot, and we're trying to close that gap. And I feel this on my left, inside of my left hip. Some of you might be like this. If it hurts, just cross the legs. Just find a stretch that's good for you. If you can do this pose, you can probably do lotus pose. Maybe we'll do a lotus session another week. To do lotus, you've got to have open hips. If you try lotus and you haven't got those open hips, this is what happens. You're going to torque that knee, you're going to wreck the knee. So you need those open hips to be able to do lotus. Other side. And release. So let's do, we did standing pigeon, we'll do reclined pigeon, and we'll do regular pigeon. So come onto your back. I'm going to go this way. So regular pigeon, reclined pigeon, is just like standing pigeon, except you're on your back. And we're going to bring the outer left ankle onto the right leg, and we're going to take hold of the back of that right leg. You want to keep the head on the ground, you want to keep the tailbone on the ground, the foot that's close to you, flex, dorsiflexion. You can use that left forearm against the inside of the left leg to open that hip a little bit more. For those of you that are super flexible, what you could do is you could hug that leg. So I'm going to have my left foot on the inside of the right elbow, and the outside of my left leg on the inside of the other elbow. So I'm basically hugging the leg, and I'm pulling the leg in. So you can get into a deeper stretch this way. Really flex that left foot. And you get into deep stretch this way. If that's too much, just keep hold of the back of the leg. We're all different here, guys. Remember, part of yoga is knowing where you're at, not doing anything that doesn't feel good. We want to be safe. There's a Sanskrit word called ahisma in yoga, which means no harm. So no harm to yourself, no harm to anybody. Some people carry it in yoga to an extreme, where they do no harm to any living animal. So that's why a lot of yogis are vegans or vegetarians. And if you want, you can hug that other leg, pulling the legs in. Another thing you could do when you're in that pose is rock from side to side, which I do sometimes. I quite like that. Outside of the hips, you walk the feet in. Feet are wider than hips. And you're just taking the knees over from side to side. And this, as I say, this stretches out the outside of the hip a little bit. And if you want to hold this one, what you can do, let's try this, is, let's see if I can get this right, is I'm going to take my left leg, so the knee is making 90 degrees, and the knee, the left hip, the left shoulder are in one line. So I'm walking that left foot out to the side, 90 degrees at the knee, knee, hip, shoulder lined up. And if you want, you can bring that right leg on top, and you can get a little bit more stretch down the outside of that left hip. And then windshield wipe again, 2 or 3 more times. And then we take the right leg, so I'm walking the foot out to the side. I'm keeping that right knee 90 degrees, right knee, hip, shoulder lined up. And if you want, you can just gently rest that left foot on top of the right leg if it feels okay. I don't hold that side too long. I start to feel a little bit of stretch, a little bit too much stretch on the inside of that right knee, so I have to be careful on that one. Okay, back of the legs, rock yourself up, boat. You bend the knees, you can hold on to the legs, or you can just have the legs straight if you want more challenge. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the legs. Legs a few inches off the ground. Head is supported. Lower back is pushed into the mat. Working that core. Abs of steel. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We release. Take a full body stretch. Walk the feet in, knees in, rock yourself up. Come back onto your hands and knees. I'm going to face you guys. Downward facing dog. Bring the right leg up to the ceiling, extended down dog. Regular pigeon, you're bringing that knee in. Now this is where the blocks might be handy. So regular pigeon, I start off, the toes of my back foot are tucked so that I can grab the floor and I can just walk that foot back. Just finding the stretch that's good for me. You might have that right hip off the ground. That's where a skinny block might be useful. You might want to slide it in. You want to keep the hips equidistant to the ground to keep the spine in a nice straight line. This is raised pigeon. Hip stretch, and it's going to stretch out the front of that back leg. Extended pigeon. We slowly come down, support the head. The thing, you can stay in extended pigeon. The thing about pigeon is you always have to be careful with the knee. I always tell people be careful with the knee as you come into pigeon. I have my right knee slightly out to the outside of my right hip. If it bothers the groin, you can bring the knee more center. Another thing is I keep my right foot in close to my left hip. Another thing, if it still bothers the knee, wherever you position the leg is, you want to come out of the pose. There should be no discomfort in the knee. You could do a reclined pigeon again instead if you have any knee issues. The other thing, if you want a deeper hip stretch, is you make that shin more parallel to the edge of the mat that's in front of you. So that'll let you get into a deeper stretch, but just beware that it could put more pressure on the knee. So just be careful if you try that one. Come into raised pigeon. So lots of variations. So one variation is what I'm going to do is I'm going to take hold of the inside of that back foot with my left hand, and I'm going to pull that foot in towards me. So I'm getting more of a quad stretch. You could take hold of the foot with the other hand. Now this time, instead of pulling the foot in, I'm pushing the foot into the hand and opening up. So I'm getting into a little bit of a twist this time. And we release. You could have a strap, put the strap around the foot, or you could hold onto the foot. You get a really deep stretch. Sometimes I'll do it with a strap. I can't reach the foot. Well, I'll show you that another time with the strap. A twist, you can add a twist. Now this is a bit of a challenge. It's quite often what happens is a lot of people will just, you lose your balance. So this is a little bit tricky. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that left arm onto the right leg and the palms together, getting into that twist. And you're breathing. And then unwind. So the best part of this pose is coming out of the pose. So I'm tucking the toes of the back foot, coming into downward facing dog, walking the dog. That feels good. Other side, we bring the left leg up, extended down dog. We come into pigeon. Take your time, be kind to the knee. The knee is slightly outside the hip or more centered if you have any groin, if it bothers the groin. Raise pigeon, taking the toes of the back foot, walking that foot back. Keeping those hips nice and even, maybe have something underneath that hip. Make it a little bit easier. But try and get that spine in one straight line, hips equidistant to the ground. So you don't want to be leaning over this side or this side like this. You want to get nice and even. Extended pigeon. So extended pigeon, you can just relax, let gravity do all the work for you. And as I say, if you want more of a hip stretch, you get the shin a little bit more parallel to the front of the mat. Raised pigeon. See if you can reach for that back foot. I like to take the inside of the foot, but you can take the outside of the foot if you prefer. And then I'll pull that foot in, getting into a deeper quad stretch if you want. You might be already getting a deep enough stretch, which is fine. And then we're going to switch hands. We hold onto the foot with the other hand. And then this time we're pushing the foot into the hand. So the foot is pushing away from you and you're taking a little bit of a twist here. We release. We get into a deeper twist by bringing the right arm onto that left leg, palms together. And then we unwind. We come into downward facing dog. We walk the dog. We bring the knees forward and we're going to come onto our backs. So I said we're going to work the feet a little bit. Let's just give them a little bit of attention. So bring the left leg up to the ceiling, hold onto the back of the leg, and just point and flex that foot. Just do that a few times. And then just circle the foot in one direction. Other direction. And then just point and flex again a couple more times. And then switch legs. Hold on to the back of the other leg, point and flex. Make circles. Other direction. Point and flex. Full body stretch, legs extended, arms extended over the head, trying to get as much length as you can. Emphasize the stretch on one side, getting into that banana shape. And then emphasize on the other side. And recenter. Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly, soles of the feet together. You can close the eyes. And I'm just going to rest my hands on the legs. You don't have to. But I'm just resting them there on the legs just to try and encourage the hips to open, not forcing it. And you can hold this a little bit longer if you want, if you're ready for Shavasana. Extend the legs, bring the arms either side of you, palms up, and just totally relax, letting the whole body get heavy. Maybe moisten the lips. Keeping the chin tucked. So I want to try and keep length in the back of the neck. Palms towards the ceiling. And just make sure every muscle is relaxed. Face is relaxed, face is soft. Shavasana is, I mean, it would appear to be a very easy pose, but a lot of people are challenged with Shavasana. You know, because of the busy lives we all have. It's a challenge for some people just to relax. But try your best. Try and keep focus on the breath. You're not controlling the breath, but if you focus on the breath, you're less likely to be distracted. If you can stay here a little bit longer, that would be fine. I actually encourage that. If you're ready to come out, you walk the feet in. Knees come in, and you roll over to the side. Keeping the eyes closed, take a breath or two. And then again, keeping the eyes closed, you gently push yourself into a seated position. Inhale as the arms come up. Palms together as you bring the arms down on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the palms together, bring the palms to the chest. Let's take 3 ohms. Inhale. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of the Thanksgiving weekend, and I'll see you next week.